Well, good evening, everyone. I see everybody is getting logged in here.
Good evening, everyone. We'll start in a couple of minutes, actually. I was going to pop a quiz about just sort of, does anyone know what that is in my backdrop back there? But it's Death Valley. But I think the real question is, what famous criminal was found there in the 1960s? By the way, so we have a chat thing going, and if anyone wants to try to answer that, what famous criminal was found there in the chat in 1960, late 60s, I think it was actually. Lori, do you know the answer to that question?
Uh, no, I don't.
Okay, so Sean Blum, Region 12, she believes she knows, but I would say that because this is in her region as region president, she is disqualified, so she can't answer.
Ah, poor Sean.
Oh, Michelle and Don, you would know, of course you would. Yes. Okay, so Michelle and Don Paris are on. They know. It's Charlie Manson, actually. He went into hiding. He and his gang was known for a bunch of just ridiculous murders in the 60s, and they went and hid out in Death Valley. And the legend is that a bunch of hikers found some abandoned car that was on fire. They tracked down it, and kind of in this, it's just a little bit south of where this picture is right now. They found the Manson family, apprehended Charles Manson in Death Valley, our little Death Valley.
Wow.
Good evening, Molly.
Yeah.
Like what I walk into, right?
This is the trivia portion of the evening, Molly. And by the way, if you could change your name away from Chris to Molly, that might reduce some confusion. Or maybe Sherry, if you could change it for Molly, that'd be great.
I'll do my best.
It's my dream to have cloned myself, but probably not helpful here.
All right, y'all. So we're going to start on time. We have a packed agenda for today. And I'm Eric McHenry, as many of you probably know. And to my virtual, I think, left is Lori Tilton, our executive director. And behind the screen is Sherry McCabe. That's when this is ACI board. Some of you, well, all of you have interacted with her because she's in charge of our marketing communications at headquarters. It's a phenomenal job. Also coming onto the screen are some of our other people in our club. We have got Ginny Stetler, who will be talking a little bit about what's going on our Jackson Center property. It's the grand opening of our place. Executive Council member Kendall Felder, who just popped on screen. And a lot of you have heard a lot from Kendall recently. You know, for probably 2 years, we've been trying to figure out a way to have an app, a mobile app to look up directories. And Kendall and his team was able to figure that out. Kendall's going to give a little bit of a demo today. And there's a great article from Kendall in your printed Blue Beret, which if you haven't received, should hit your mail, if you will, pretty shortly. So, Molly, why don't you introduce your team and yourself and your team?
Hi, everybody. I'm Molly. I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Airstream. And then on my team for this call is Chris Pendle and Carly Gorey, and they are helping me with Camp Airstream.
Awesome. And we got Jay Cullis there also.
Oh, I didn't see Jay on the call.
We have another Carly Gorey also. So anyway, welcome all. So we're going to do the Camp Airstream first, but I wanted just to remind all of y'all sort of the way this works out. Lori and I have been doing this since the International Rally in Maine. And we had this idea that said, hey, look, you know, we have all these members around around the place, let's do a quarterly chat where we talk about anything. I've done this also in person at a lot of rallies and events, and the rules are very simple. Ask any question you want, and Lori and I will do our best to answer. The chats are recorded, and so we will address the ones in the chat side. And if we can't answer your question, we'll follow up with you a little bit later. But this is the opportunity for give your ideas, rumor control, whatever it is. Tonight, though, we have a really good program of new things that are happening at our club, which I and the Executive Council and IBT are quite proud about. And we're going to start off with Camp Airstream, which has been something in Molly's mind for quite a while. I think it started to come together from our perspective when we bumped into each other in Sedalia in the fall last year, the National Rally. And it's happening now. So Molly, I'm gonna hand it over to you and I will share slides. You just say next slide when you're ready for the next slide, okay? So I'm hoping that you guys can see that now. Okay, Molly, you're muted. I hope, can someone confirm you all can see the slides? I can't tell from my side.
We can see it.
Yes.
Wait, Molly's still muted.
There you go. All
There
right.
we
Here I am. So a little bit of background about Camp Airstream. So it was during the pandemic, and we were having an enormous amount of people coming into the family. And we really weren't concerned about acquisition of new customers. We were more concerned about how do we retain the customers that we're getting, and how do we make the brand, as we call it in marketing, sticky? How do we introduce people to the family that we have? Because a lot of them had no idea. And so this idea of creating experiences where Airstreamers could get together with other Airstreamers kind of popped up on the radar, because we know from our research, we know from our surveys that we do, that it's probably about the second or third time where you get the hang of it, and it's one of those things where you feel like, I got this, I can do this, and it becomes part of your life and what you want to do. We also know it's incredibly important, and something that Eric and I have worked on for several years now, to try to figure out how to connect those new people with the club. And because we know that the club is very instrumental in that kind of love for the brand, that, something you want to be a part of, something that you want to, and everybody here and all of the club are brand evangelists, right? They're constantly out talking about the trips that they take, where they go. Hey, you're going to get it. It's going to be fine. And so we thought, I wonder if we could create experiences where Airstreamers come together, they commune together. And you guys do this a lot. You do your own rallies, you do caravans, but for the new people or people coming into the brand, how do we create an opportunity for them to participate? And it was a heavy lift, absolutely heavy lift during COVID. And so it's taken kind of years to figure out, how could we do this? We're not an event company. We don't have the experience you do in all of this stuff. How do we use what you guys already do and kind of create an opportunity and curate an experience that will make people want to be part of this, a part of this brand? Parlay that to the pandemic's over. People can travel however they want to travel, but we still felt really passionate about this idea of community. It's what Wally built the brand on. It's how he got people to feel it. And we thought, let's just keep going with this experiences idea, and let's have a pilot, and let's try to figure it out. So that's what we've done. And Chris and Carly and Mallory, I'm sorry I didn't introduce Mallory on my team. This is what we've set out to do. And so the opportunity came along. Thor had a partnership with Open Roads Resorts, which is a company that is taken over several resorts, campgrounds across the country. And I met with them last fall, and they said, hey, let's try this at one of our campgrounds. And so what we said we would do is we're going to buy out X number of spots and we're going to create a space for Airstreamers to camp together. Because I think we inherently know, me as an Airstreamer, when you camp next to another Airstreamer, there's just an immediate camaraderie. There's immediate understanding. You can kind of skip, let's get to know each other and just go straight to Airstreaming experiences. And we thought there's some magic there. There's just magic for the brand. There's magic for people. And so we thought, let's just carve out a space within a campground that's already existing. And then let's build programming and experience that Airstreamers are going to want to camp together. And hopefully, if the pilot goes well, this will be something that we do all over the country in different places at different times. And we have people come together and that we can help kind of assist with what the club is already doing. So the club's already doing this in some cases. So how do we get involved in that? And how do we team up with the club and make sure that we can create experiences that make people say, I want to go back there. That was super fun. So that's what it is. So the campground, and we're calling it Camp Airstream, and the campground is, and by all means, Chris and Carly, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's about 20 miles from the west entrance of Yellowstone. And we have 10 spots, and one of the spots is going to be taken over by a camp host. And so we're going to have somebody on site to help with all the programming and what's going on. And then the rest is kind of up to the community that shows up, to create. We're going to have plenty of things to do. We're going to have plenty of things to see, plenty of ways to come together. But then I think it's going to be interesting to see how each group comes together and what that means. So it's like a rally over and over again every week from June through September. Okay, you can advance. I'm sorry. So ideally, this is one of the, it's a beautiful place. It's surrounded by mountains. It's got a big lake there. But one of the things we encountered when we first set out to do this was, I guess it can be rather windy. And so I had this idea of a magical tent with twinkle lights and, but the tent really wasn't possible. So what we're going to do is really build an environment where everybody can hang together. There's going to be things you can do by yourself. There's places you can go, you can explore, but there's also programming. If you want to participate, you don't have to. But if you want to participate, we're going to have that. And then if you want to get to know fellow Airstreamers, this is going to be the place where people come together. We're going to have a hospitality trailer on site. And really all that means is it's a trailer. It's not set up for sleeping. It's kind of got a couple of meeting spaces in it. And we'll use that for a place that people can come in and have a conversation, or depending on the weather or what happens. The other trailer in this space is going to be what we're calling a wellness trailer. And this is part of an initiative on the commercial side of our business to kind of explore how trailers, we all know that trailers have been used in numerous businesses, right? We see them cupcake factories. I've seen tattoo parlors. I've seen dog grooming, like all these things. But we really felt like this is a place where people come together, they rejuvenate, they make new friends. As Wally always said, it's fellowship. And we're going to have a masseuse on site. So we're going to be able to do, we want people to relax and enjoy the time that they have. There's going to be a busy schedule, like I said, and there's also just kind of offering something that's kind of unexpected in the space. You can go to the next one. Chris and Carly, please jump in if I miss anything.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
So the way it works is that it's a 6-night adventure. And these are the dates that we have set on the calendar and the remaining spots that we have open. And we've been super grateful for all the people that have signed up. And frankly, the club has been a big part of that. We haven't done a lot of advertising because we haven't done it yet. So we don't have a lot of content to show the actual space and the actual people, but we're going to get that in May, the end of May. And then we're going to be able to open it up to a larger group of people. Now, what makes this work for Airstream is the scalability of being able to do this year over year over year. So obviously this is a pilot, and we hope that the pilot goes well. And this is a place either that people come back to, or that we, because of the wonderful experiences everybody has, can gain other people and other Airstreamers interested. We kept it kind of small, because we want to do more of these in different places. So it's a 6-night adventure. It's at the Red Rock RV Park. And then it's $2,200 for the week. And you come in on Tuesday. Is that right? I got that right.
Yeah.
You come in Monday?
No, Tuesday. You're right.
On Tuesday. You come in on Tuesday and leave on Saturday or
Leave on-
Sunday. And then
Okay.
Monday, we have an opportunity to kind of like regroup, get everything back together, and then start over the following week. So it's week after week from June 17th through the end of September. So as part of the programming, when we say programming, that's really the events that we have scheduled and the things that we have for you to do during that time. We have a private Yellowstone tour, so where you'll be picked up and taken on an 8-hour guided tour of Yellowstone National Park. I've never done that. Like, I've always wandered around by myself and like trying to figure out and read all the stuff. So I think this is a really great experience to really, it's hitting all the best places, and it's really going to give us some more like a deep understanding. Like our goal with this is to wherever we land, wherever we do this, we want to give you a local experience that gives you, one, something you may not know about, but two, it educates you about the space. We know that experiences are really important, and we know that most people who go to a place are curious. I mean, one thing I know about Airstreamers is they're curious about their surroundings. They're curious about where they go. They want to know, they want to immerse themselves in the local environment. And so the whole point of this programming was to be able to do that. And I don't know, Carly, I'm sorry, you want to go back? Carly, if you want to talk about Johnny Sack's cabin, because you have more experience in that, that would be great.
Jay, you probably know, I mean, it more about the Johnny Sachs cabin than I do.
Yeah, so he was early settler in the Yellowstone area, one of these mountain men that was, part of the beaver trapping industry that was going on in that area, and hand built this beautiful cabin. It's still standing, and we're going to take a guided hike there. It's outside of Yellowstone National Park, but it's near Island Park, Idaho, where Red Rock is. And so we'll go there, we'll get to tour that, and then we'll do a couple shorter hikes in the area to some waterfalls and just some other beautiful spots. It'll be great.
And then obviously I mentioned the wellness trailer and the massage that comes along with the trip. And then the community activities. So this is something we're really excited about, and we're going to try different things, and do different things at different times. And it's really about bringing everybody together. So whether it's music or stargazing or bird watching or photography, it's all about like education and learning about the local area, and just experiencing stuff together. I think we talked about having movie night, obviously weather permitting, but where we would either show Airstream historical videos that we have in our archive, or if there's other special screenings that we can do. We really feel it's a time to come together. It's a time to enjoy each other. And it's a time, it's something that you guys do at rallies naturally. We're going to try to bring what we have that a lot of people may not see or may not know about, kind of bring it to this experience. And then obviously, part of the wellness is yoga along with the massage. We're also going to have daily happy hours. And one of the things that we've been throwing around, and we're still working on that, is we're still working on what are the, some topics of conversation, some little things that we know. Jay is going to be a host, which I'm super excited about. He's going to be our first host. We wanted an Airstreamer, but also an Airstream employee to be the first host because we have a lot to learn. We have a lot to learn about what works, what doesn't work. And so Jay and his family are going to be the first host from June to July 21st. And then Dawn and Michelle Paris are going to be the second host for the second half of the trip. We feel like Jay and his knowledge about the brand can bring a lot to the camp, but also help us learn about camp hosts in the future and what really the expectation is and what they can bring to the table, as well as, just what needs to be done. You can go back.
Okay, we're a little mindful of time. We have full agenda.
Okay.
Where we got to go? We got a couple more to go, FAQs and stuff. Which way direction do you want to go?
Okay, we can go to, well, we can just ask.
Okay, I'm screen share, and that way people can ask questions and see your face. So that'd be
Sure.
good. So are there questions that popped up on chat? I've not been following it.
There were, and I can just recap for folks who maybe weren't following along. So one question was around Wi-Fi, and we have a Wi-Fi network there. So we are setting up a separate Starlink for Business Wi-Fi network for these 10 spots. So that should cover us on that front. And then there was some question around, is the cost per person or per Airstream? So it's the $2,200 is per Airstream with the assumption of 2 people. And then if there are additional people who want to come outside of that, there are ways that we can accommodate that on the logistics end. And then I think there was one other question around
There
how
was
many
one about
meals
how
are
to
included.
sign up also. And so the club got access, thank you, Airstream, early access to it.
Mhm.
And I at a significant discount. And I think we had like 80 or so club members sign up for it during the early access period.
Mhm.
But
Which, thank you
but-
very much. We really appreciate the support.
yes.
Yeah, so if folks want to sign up, there is a QR code that's embedded on the slide. You can also search Camp Airstream Yellowstone. It will pop up. There are some weeks that are sold out. There are some weeks that have some availability. From a marketing standpoint, the things that Airstream will do in the next 30 days to fill up those spots. And this really is, if anyone's on the fence, know that there's not a ton of availability and to book now if you want. But we're doing a trial week here in about 2 weeks, week and a half. And then we'll actually have marketing assets, photography, videos to show people what the experience is like. So we anticipate once we push that out and do some advertising that the rest of the spots will fill up. We have 22 spots remaining, Carly-ish, something like that. So fewer than 30, I think, or maybe fewer than, I might be doing the math wrong, but there's not a ton left. So if folks are interested, they would definitely take a look and then shoot any questions to the club, or there's an email address at the bottom of the website that gets routed to this team, and we'll answer all the questions.
We have 20 spots available.
20 spots left.
Okay, any other questions that popped up in the chat before we move along? There's a question about, are dogs available on the hikes?
Dogs cannot go on the private Yellowstone tour. They can go on the day hike though. That's okay. And I do want to address the question that we got prior to the meeting, and the question that we got was whether we can add additional spots to weeks that are completely full with reservations. And the short answer to this is unfortunately no. And it's a no because we have a secluded area in the park for this Camp Airstream experience. And adding more spots would then be kind of out of the Airstream space, and adding more people could potentially impact the programming we have in place.
Thank you all. All right, thank you, everyone. If there's any other questions, we'll shoot them back to the members or to you guys. Thank you so much, Molly, Carly, Chris, Mallory. Thank you so much, Jay. What a phenomenal thing. I really appreciate you guys rolling this out and working with us on this. We're quite excited. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Likewise.
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
Bye.
All right, see y'all. Have a good meeting. Bye.
Okay, next on our agenda, we're going to talk about our grand opening, actually. And so I'm going to turn it over to Ginny Snetler right there, our executive counsel, and she's been in charge of the development projects, leading the development projects for 803 East Pike and 707 East Pike in Jackson Center, Ohio. And I'll put up a screen share once I free up a hand to do that. Okay, so I think you should be able to see that now. Ginny, you're muted, by the way.
Thank you. Good evening. I wanted to share with you what was going on at our club headquarters, which is located in Jackson Center, about 1.5 to 2 miles down the street from the Airstream factory. So we're really quite engaged in the village of Jackson Center, and they've been wonderful, embracing our changes and our growth. We had our grand opening from the renovation of our new clubhouse our new headquarters building. It was a bank, a dental office, and an accountant office all together. We gutted the entire building with a crew of 23 different volunteers, did amazing work, saved the club a lot of money, and really boosted the equity in the value of the building. Turned out great. We had the grand opening on Saturday night. About 75 people from the village came through an open house. And then in the evening, we had a private party with about 110 of our members to thank them for working so hard, giving time, treasure, and talent into the project. It really is quite impressive. I really want to thank the Airstream folks at Airstream Inc. as well, because they created a beautiful front desk for us. It's an end piece from an Airstream, but it is one of a kind. It is not the actual end piece. They recreated it just for us. Molly Hansen had a chance to drop by, which we were very honored to have her. And Jay Cullis spent a few hours with us, and that was quite a treat as well. So thank you. And now we finished what I have called phase 1, which was moving the team over into the new building, getting them up and running. And we're ready for phase 2. Phase 2 is the renovation of the building they moved out of, which was our previous club headquarters. It was built in 1984. All the land that we sat on, which is about 11.5 acres, was donated by a member. And then there was a capital campaign in 1982 to 1984 to raise the funds to build the building. Well, it's a little bit tired and it's a little bit dated, and it needs a little bit of a lot of a facelift. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But this time we're going to take a page from history, and we're having another capital campaign. This one's going to be a lot of fun, though, in fundraising, because I personally love the idea of engaging more members than 23 and letting everybody have a piece in the new building and the surrounding land. This is an image down below, the green part. That's the site development image, where we'll be adding a pavilion, a fire pit, and a dog park. The dog park will be lighted. We'll have water and fencing, of course, and a very generous amount of space. So we will have a pathway that connects the new building and structure to the old building and structure. And if you look closely, you'll see that we've even incorporated more campsites with electric and water. All of these changes have already been approved through zoning. We have our permits. We're ready to rock once we get our funding. So this is where you come in. This is where I would love for everybody to have a part in all of this. So one of the things that we're offering this time for our capital campaign is a brick campaign. That's where you can buy a laser engraved brick. They're really cool. They're huge. They're heavy. They're made locally too. They're very reasonably priced. And this is where you can honor a family member, a thank you to the club, somebody in memoriam, somebody about love, your grandkids, your dog, anything in the world that you can think of, you can put on a brick. You'll have an option of 21 different clip art designs, including our very own proprietary image of a trailer. So that's sort of fun. The bricks, will need a lot of them to fill up that long pathway connecting the buildings, and I think we can do it. I'm very excited about it. So the cost brings a lot of money back to our club, which is why I really encourage you to jump in and do it. A regular 4x8 brick is $125. It includes your clip art and your text. And an 8x8 brick is $250. So for our dog Belle's second birthday, which happened the day before the big party, John decided to gift her with a brick. It's what every girl dreams of. And he got her an 8x8 brick, and we're very thrilled for her. She's going to be honored in the Walk of Fame. I'm kidding, of course. We did get our brick, but what I'm so proud to tell you is that today, our entire executive council all signed up to donate a brick, each one of us. So that's pretty fun. And I think I'd like to have a little contest between all the local clubs. The local club that raises the most money in their brick sales will be gifted an 8x8 brick with their local club name on it and their local club president's name. And the same goes for the 12 regions. Whichever region brings in the most money in this brick campaign, they too will be honored with an 8x8 brick with their region president and the region number on it. So it's kind of a fun little way to help spur us on and get us going. There are other opportunities for gifting. One of them is naming rights. You have the opportunity to name one of the many things. There's a brochure which shows them all. If you could go back a couple slides, you'll see it. In that you can, for example, the VAC, the Vintage Airstream Club. Next one back, please. The Vintage Airstream Club already chose the 5-year naming rights for the fire pit. They gave us a check at the party, which is very exciting. In addition, the Vintage Airstream Club pledged $10,000, and they are having a bottle sale. If you want to find a really cool little Father's Day gift coming up, order a bottle. It's a Wally Byam reproduction bottle that is actually on display in the Baker City, Oregon Museum that was gifted to Wally. And if you'll contact the VAC, you can get one of those. And all their proceeds are going to our project, which is really generous. So we've had some wonderful gifts already. We need a bunch of money to put this whole picture together. But I think with your help, we're going to do it, and we're going to have fun doing it. So there we have it. I'll keep you posted on what happens next. Thank you.
So Jenny, this is fantastic. When I know the executive council got early access to be able to bid something, but when will the general membership be able to buy a brick or donate or learn more about the project?
Next week. Look next week when we will be having an email go out to all members and kind of give a blast. And then, of course, there'll be more information coming in our blogs and on Facebook. And every opportunity that you have to get involved, we would love for you to be included. You can always just contact me as well, and I'll get you steered to exactly what you'd like to be doing. But jump in, have fun. Thanks.
So Jenny, something else I thought was really cool you shared earlier was that how many trailers were parked in our property last weekend?
18.
That's incredible. So we're
That's
actually
incredible.
yeah,
We are expanding to have camming with electric and water for 12 sites. Right now, we have, and as a matter of fact, today, you are first in line hearing this. It's going to Harvest Hosts, and they will be expanding from the 3 that we offer through courtesy parking to 5 immediately. They're all set to go. 30 amp hookup, and we're ready for you. So this is going to be an awful lot of fun. You're going to discover Jackson Center isn't just the place to get your Airstream fixed. It's the place to come and have a lot of fun with us.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And what I personally like about it, also having been in the club for a long time, is that historically 803 East Pike was for headquarters. It really wasn't for the members, but now it's for the members, right? And a year ago, we had the rally down at the Vintage Club and had, I don't know, probably 20 so trailers down there. We had people coming and going. It's really nice to see club members popping in. So now you have a place to go in Jackson Center when you're there for historical center, heritage center, whatever else. So thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you, Lori, for making this happen.
One more thing, if I may take just about 30 seconds additionally, what we're doing with that building, 803, I didn't mention what we're doing with it. It's going to become the new member clubhouse and historical library and educational center. So 60% will be where we archive our own club's information, archives, data, and artifacts. The other 40% will be a member clubhouse with 3 showers, full bathroom showers, 2 stack washer dryers, data, a lounge, and a vending area. So we are going to give you a place to actually unwind, regroup, and continue on with your journey.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And I'm going to hand it over to Lori now. And this is perfect timing because this is our 70th year operation, and we're doing so many cool things to give our club a continued home. So Lori, on to you for
Thanks.
what's coming to members and discounts and benefits.
Thanks, Eric. And as everybody was talking, I have never seen people make a party in a parking lot like the Airstreamers do. And I've seen it at 803 time and time again. So quoting the Field of Dreams movie, build it, they will come. I'm convinced more and more spots we have, more people come to Jackson Center and enjoy the time there. So our membership is still steady. We're steady and growing, and this time of year is slower than usual. But I can tell you we're at 9,870 when I left today, which is only a couple hundred away from beating last year's numbers. And we're still in May. So I'm confident we're going to continue to grow as we have been. Next slide, please. On the joins, you can see that, again, a slower time of year, but we are steady as a rock, just growing, having people come in. So we're excited. The Explorer program is still growing, and I've really been excited about working with dealers. We're having more and more dealers come on board. Just come on board as in wanting to learn more about the program, and we're sending them material and stuff to help educate their sales team to get the word out about the Explorer program. And so far, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but that program has done a great job of bringing people into the club. And I know we're at about a 63, 65 renewal rate for just the Explorers. Overall, the club, we're closer to 90%. But for that first year, that's a great thing, saying we're doing something right. We're getting to 63% or 65%, but we'll continue to work on getting educated with those folks. So next slide, please. So membership and discounts, and we have Sherry behind the scenes working, and I tell you, she has done an amazing job of bringing additional discounts and benefits and partners onto our platform and to work with them. So some of the most recent ones, as you see highlighted here, is the Adventure Genie. We got Park at 360 and RV Weather. And you can find all of this on our website. It is all behind the curtain per se, so you have to log in and get this information. But again, we're having more and more people reach out to us and want to partner, which again tells me something how great this club is, and people just want to be part of our group. Next slide, please. And this is our 70th year. Oops. There, thank you. So I think most of you know this is our 70th anniversary year. We are promoting and wanting to hear everybody's story. So there's a couple different ways from this slide. You can also find this information on our website. It's in the Blue Beret, both the digital and printed version. But we want to hear your stories, the craziest adventures, your traditions within your family, the generations. Actually, this weekend I met a 5th generation Airstreamer. I mean, they're not able to drive yet, but we're getting them there, right? So that's what it's all about. We also have this new app for people to share their photos, and we actually have a live stream running in the office of this, and that is absolutely amazing. We appreciate people submitting their photos. We definitely want to continue to grow our library, and some of them are just absolutely amazing. And then the other thing you can do, there's a couple of different things you can leave your mark by 70th anniversary message that will be included in the magazine. Details there on the slide, and again, you can find that information online. And then the thing that just opened today, and Sherry, correct me if I'm wrong, today or yesterday, is the 70th anniversary store is now open, and you can see that merch there in the bottom. So we're super excited to continue to just celebrate. This is our 70th year, and it's pretty amazing the passion this club has to make us continue as long as we have. So I think that's all for me now.
Lori, there was a question which I typed in. It's probably better if you answer. The question was, we talk about memberships, and someone asked a question of members versus memberships. What's the difference, and how do we count it?
So how we count memberships is actually memberships, which include 2 adults. So when I say we have 9,800 memberships, typically that is just about, I don't know, a little over 18,000 people sometimes, depending on where we are on that thing. About 15% of our memberships are singles. The rest are normally 2 adults. So that's the difference, memberships versus members.
And I also, thanks, Laura. I also wanted to address, someone asked me this question at a rally a while ago about, well, why do you guys care so much about membership growth? And my answer was, well, we care because the opposite of growth is declining.
Mhm.
And the last thing that we want is to be like the clubs that you've seen in other parts of our life, where the membership starts to decline and decline and decline over time, and we lose that vitality. We lose the ability to continue on. We lose sort of the fun, right? If our rallies shrink and shrink, people shrink and shrink, and we need to bring on new members too. I'm
Yeah.
66, right? We need to keep bringing on and making our club a fun place to go for people in their 30s and 40s and 20s and 50s, right? So that's why the membership growth is important. It's also important to us on the leadership side because it's a bit of a proxy for our members getting what they want out of the club, right? And to have a club where we have a mid 80% year-on-year retention is absolutely amazing. And part of it is a brand, but a large part of it is that, y'all are our families, right? We hang out with you, we party with you, we learn from you. And so if our membership starts to drop, that's signaling that we're not doing the right thing for our members. So numbers in and of itself, it's not because of the budget. It's really because it's a bit of an indicator on how vibrant and strong and long lasting our club is.
And to tag on to that, Eric, we're adding a new tracking element to our databases, rejoins. We have had a ton of rejoins, and this is a couple years, 5 years, 6 years out of the club. They've seen some of our different benefits, different things we're doing, and we have a ton of people rejoining, which just tickles me to death. So I'm anxious to get that new tracking. It's in the works to get that in the database so we can see those that are coming back to us.
Be sure to check out benefits. I was just texting my wife who's towing the trailer home today. I'm on the call and she's towing the trailer. She said, Eric, we need 4 new tires. Like, oh my gosh. Fortunately, we have a tire program, a tire discount program. So I'm a little bit happier with that. But the benefits are great. One thing I do want to also mention, we did not talk about Harvest Host that much today and courtesy parking. But that is one of the ones that I think really benefits from a financial and a social standpoint. I think we have mid 300 members that are offering courtesy parking across the US and Canada, which is fantastic. I think that Kathy Giese, Executive Council member who was running the program, I think she said that in this last year, which is a non-rally year for parts of the country, because we just launched in the fall, we had mid 400 stay nights. In other words, so mid 400 people stayed at a courtesy parking over the last probably 6 months. That is huge. We expect that number to grow a lot in the summer. And, some of the places where we camp and transit are $100 a night, $80 a night. And to be able to stay at a member's home, it's not just because it's free, but also because you get to hang out and meet people. So it's a phenomenal benefit. I really, really encourage some of the people that are my best friends are people that we met because we stayed in their driveway or we stayed in the back of their house or in the back of a barn someplace. So try it out. You'll love it. Okay, I think now's a fun thing. It's all fun. I think y'all heard a lot of Kendall. Kendall is one of our executive council members, and Kendall has been just phenomenal from his technological background and his general business background. So let me do a share, Kendall, and I'll turn it over to you.
Hello, everyone. I am excited to bring forward what we've been working on as a team. One of the things that we wanted to get out was a way for members to easily connect and easily look at VRNs, find other members to connect with. And the end result is an amazing, beautiful app. We've had it in testing and it is just about ready to be released. We are targeting a release date of May 15th. And I'm saying targeting only because we got a few bugs to work out, but we have to submit it to Apple and submit it to Google. As long as Apple and Google don't have any issues, we should be out on time on the 15th. It'll be available free of charge in the stores to anyone in good standing. Go to the iOS App Store, Android Store, and it'll be there. But I will also work with Sherry to get a message out to everyone via email when it drops. So you can go download it. And it will look just like that little picture in the corner there. That's the logo that'll be in the store for the app. Couple of things to point out. You must have an email address that is on file at headquarters as a primary or partner member in order to log in. That is the way we lock the app down to make sure that it's only available to members. If you're not a member, you cannot use the app. We do realize initial version coming out, even though it's been beta testing for a good period of time, there may be a few bugs that you see, things that got missed. So please feel free to share those back to us. We put a report feature within the app so that you can easily capture your screenshots and send them back if there's something that is missing. And with that, I just want to show you guys real quick what it looks like. And
Okay.
so there it is. On the left is the Android version. On the right is the iOS version. When you first log in or you first download the app and you open it up, you're going to have this first time user. Create an account. That's for everyone. You click on create an account and you must use your email address on file with headquarters. If you put an email address in and it doesn't work, it's not going to tell you that it fails. It's going to tell you to contact headquarters. If it tells you to contact headquarters, that means your email address does not exist. So I just want to put that out there. And then once you verify your email address, create a password, it's going to kick you out back to your email to verify your emails and make sure that we do have that the email is valid. Come back, put your email back in, put the password in, and you can log in. And once you log in, you get to the dashboard. The dashboard is a pride and joy. It's the first thing up. Is the ability to quickly look up somebody's BRN. So you go out on the road, you see our BRN, put it in, you look it up, and it tells you who they are. It gives you the big red numbers. It'll tell you what region they're in, and etc. And now it's quick, easy, fast. Campfire is a way for members to connect, share their stories, share camping hacks, different things. And when you got a campfire and you're talking, and you talk to somebody privately, you whisper to them. You have a one-on-one conversation, and that's what whisper is about. Being able to have a quick one-on-one conversation with someone, an individual, or with a group. You can create groups. So imagine a whole caravan here as a group within Whispers can communicate. There's a member directory, events, blog, courtesy parking, the blue books for the rules, announcements coming from the club, and emergency assistant is just it's a little misleading. It's not too late. Emergency assistance, if you click on it, it's going to tell you to dial 911. But if you broke down or something is happening and you want to get help within the club, then the feature is there for that. But it's not for anything life threatening. It's going to prompt you several times to call 911 first before you click forward in the app. And in a nutshell, that is it. That is the app. High and level. I go very detailed within Blue Beret. So if you haven't seen the article, please read the article. It talks a lot about the app and how it came together and the vision of it. And I am around if you guys got any questions for me.
Thanks, Kendall. Can you unscreen share? So one thing, Kendall wouldn't say this, but I was reminded to remind people that we were in a pinch, our club was. You know, we are very mindful of our expenses. That's one reason why it took us so long to make it to happen, and we could not find a way to do it. And Kendall said, I'll do it. Kendall has a group, a team, a company, and they did it for free. They donated it to the club, and so we would not have this without the generosity of you, Kendall. So thank you so much for finding us a great solution and a way to make it happen. So absolutely amazing. And so while I applaud Kendall, I also have to reference you back to what Ginny just got through talking us through. Lori, well, you're not in your office right now, but Lori wouldn't be sitting in her office, you know, and have the clubhouse going forward without the generosity of our members, who also, at the same time, we put the request out there, we need your all's help. And I think it was like 20 or so odd people spent an inordinate amount of time hammering and dry rocking and donating and acquiring things on behalf of our club. So I just think of all the things I've seen in the club in my time. These have been two of the most remarkable. So thank you, Kendall, you and your team. Jenny, thank you for the team and the members that helped make our downtown thing happen. Well, so thank you. Okay, the next thing we are going to do.
While you're looking, Eric, just answer a couple questions. Everybody's going, way to go, Kendall. We do. We love you, Kendall, for pulling this off. So excited for all our members to have the ability to see this. So the questions are, no, this does not replace the app for the International Rally because that's a little more, poor guy. We want him to sleep some, right? So because of the scheduling, the exhibitors, the presenters, all that stuff, that is still going to be is a secondary app. We'll be working with Cvent this year. We just keep outgrowing apps. So I believe the team will be releasing that here very shortly. And more information will be coming out to answer that. I'm trying to see what else we got.
I think before we'll finish up the questions a bit later. I want to cover our newest Intra Club, not just because I'm a fly fisher person, but I think it's another one of the exciting ones. So let me go through this first. And so I think a lot of, I'm a legacy member, long-term member. We know what Intra Clubs are, and it's a recognition that there are certain areas, whether it's ham radio or whether it's solos, it's Stella's Sisters, or if it's Grapes and Grains, or if it's Vintage, where our members have an interest around a certain hobby or certain thing to do. And I don't know, Anthony from Region 3 had asked a while ago, hey, a lot of us like to do fly fishing. Could we do a fly fishing club? And Chris Olson, Region 7 president on our IBT, worked with Anthony to form our newest Intra Club. I'm really happy to talk about it tonight. And I think it has the fastest growth of a launching club. As of a couple days ago, Anthony told me that there's 85 people in the charter members of the club. It hasn't even really been announced yet. The first meeting for the club is going to be tomorrow. You see the information on the screen. It'll be a Zoom meeting. Thank you, Anthony, for making it happen. I'm just so excited about it. As Molly Hansen, the Chief Marketing Officer of Airstream, had said, Airstreamers, we're about experiences. We love being in the outdoors. We love doing things differently. We love hanging out with friends, and just to have a group focused on one of the most relaxing things to do, which is standing in a river with the river up to your knees in your waders and casting. So thank you, Anthony, for making this happen. I'm really excited about that. Looking forward to your leadership and the group that's going to get it going. So thank you again. Again, thanks also to Chris, Region 7 president. Does all this bureaucratic stuff that, Chris helped shepherd people through, Anthony and his team through. So thank you again for you two for making that happen. I'll leave it up for a couple more seconds. You read what it's all about. And by the way, it's a phenomenal logo, by the way, I have to say. I love the logo. Great job on that one. Okay, I think we're down to, let's clear off some more of the questions. There's a question from a gentleman just mentioning that it's really important for retention. I apologize if I didn't get your question right. I think it was more of a statement, but it's really important for retention to be able to keep our membership dues at a reasonable rate. We think we've done that. As you all know, we raised dues, I guess it was around 4 months ago, effectively. We had not done a dues increase for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And one thing that the executive council and the board has decided to do in the future is that to not make them these big raises every 5 years, but maybe put smaller increments to the dues a long time to make it not as big of a hit. But we try our best to manage our dues. We know it's important for a lot of people. And I know it's an emotional thing as well as a financial thing. I do understand that as well. So yeah, that's on that. And by the way, just some data that Alan Rabb, our finance director, shared with us is that we had modeled a reasonable drop off in members. I think it was in the mid-teens. And I think, Lori, the drop off in members we had because of dues was non-measurable, basically. So to me, that again signals that you were providing value, right, to the members. Because if we weren't, we would expect that to have dropped off quite a bit. So thank you for bringing that up. Question on the Harvest Host. We have a secondary agreement with Harvest Host where we're trying to make it available for local clubs to do larger rallies. And that is in progress. We have a test one happening out here in California, I believe. We'll get more information probably next month on the status of it and how to roll it out more. But the idea was that a lot of us go to Harvest Host. They have beautiful locations, wineries, they have farms, they have ranches. And wouldn't it be cool to have an Airstream Club rally there for 10 to 12 rigs? Harvest Host is interested in this. A lot of their properties are interested in this. It's just a matter of finding the right path through it so we can roll it out pretty quickly. So if you have any ideas, I've gotten a number from some of you of places that you've been to that has welcomed you and interested in having a large group, let me know. We can kind of roll those into the pilot program as well. So thank you for that. Okay, Lori, talking about events, there's some small event happening in August. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, just a tiny little thing called our International Rally. We will be in York, Pennsylvania, and I sure hope y'all have already registered because all of our electric sites are sold out. I think this is our third year of sellouts, fourth year. I don't know what year it is, but third or fourth year of selling out. So the boondocking, we have some boondocking and off-site accommodations available. So again, if you're interested, please go check out our website at airstreamclub.org/rally 2025 to get more information. We still have volunteer registration or is open. We still need some committee chairs. And I've got to tell you guys, our structure, for those who don't know, there's 3 staff members and we have 4 club members. That is the rally committee. And the amount of time our volunteers spend on doing this rally is just amazing. I have Debbie Wood, Bob Hoffman, Wayne Clark, Jeff Dalrymple are my leads, and it's just amazing the work they put in, along with Rich and Cindy Collins. They run our exhibitors, and the rally we have today that's so amazing is because of membership, because of our members and the things they do. So the exhibitor and sponsors, as our registration is open, as well as the presentations. And then the registration details for some tours, which is Gettysburg and the Strasburg Railroad. All that stuff will be released very soon. So again, if you want to see us in York, get that registration in for boondocking. And yeah, that's what we have going on.
All right, we have a few minutes left, but I think it's our third straight for sure sellout. We probably would have sold out Maine for our 4th, but that was a kind of right after the pandemic, and it was trouble coming across the border, actually. So that was the challenge for that one. But yeah, no, it's great, phenomenal job, Laura, you and the rally team. So I think it looks like we answered 47 questions, so one every minute roughly. But we're here to answer questions. We didn't get any tough questions, so I'm not asking that you have one, but don't feel shy. We got a couple more minutes. And it could be for me, Lori, Jenny, Kendall, whatever. No one asked about the elections for executive officers. That's going to be starting on June 14th, 1st. Oh, there's a cat there. June 1st, thank you. June 1st to the 15th. So we're really excited at the people that have applied. It's really good to see this model move forward. So
if I could tag on there real quick for the election, we are going to have a webinar with all the candidates on March 21st. I'm sorry. I tried to lock my cat out. It didn't work. March 21st on Wednesday in 2 weeks. So if you
May 21st.
May, sorry, I told you year, month, I don't know when is what. So that'll be happening. And then some more additional communications going out about the election. That's all in process right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jeffrey asked about when do we publish the dates for next year's events? I'm not sure if you mean, well, we have 800 events a year, but let me suggest that he's asking about international rallies, but I'm not sure.
Yes, those are listed on the events page on our website. I'm almost
Are you going to try to share it?
I can, if you want to move
I
on.
can,
to
no,
the
I can do this.
Can you?
Minot is on August 22nd.
Okay, I'm gonna try to. It's always a little nervous when you share your screen and you really haven't prepared to share your screen. So I am going to do
And I
this.
will add,
So-
once you get the app, it'll be in the app easily too.
Yes. So I'm logged in as me, so there's a little more stuff here than most people see. But on the top where it says club news, member resources, events, clubs, about. So under events, you can look at the future international rallies. And as Lori was saying, I'll go to list view. We've published 2 right now for York and Minot, and there'll be other ones coming up on that one soon. For general events, you can look at all rallies and events. What I'm doing. Oh, there we go. And by the way, we have over 800 events a year across the US, Canada, and Europe and Asia. So it's a little hard to do that. But what I find very helpful, I happen to live on the West Coast, is I'll say, look, I care about things, and let's say in California, and I care about it from May. Actually, let's say not May. Let's say I'm really looking for something to do from June through September. And so these are the ones in California from June through September. And I can go in the list view and look at them. And I can see where the events are. And for each one that's on here, we require that it tells you who to contact. So for example, I'll just pick a random one. I'll pick this one. Right, so it shows the event contact, who to contact. Turns out this registration is closed, but gives the email address and a phone number, a little bit about it. The dates, of course, and there's a link to where it is. Stagecoach Trails, RV, and campground park. So that's the best way. And what I tell people all the time is that being a member, whether you're an affiliate or you're a local club member, it doesn't really matter. You can go to any, not just can, you're encouraged to attend any club event, any 800 events. Just contact the rally host ahead of time, see if there's space for you, and join. Again, as my wife and I have traveled across the country extensively, and some of our other fun ones have been just popping in and joining another club because, like Molly said, you get a couple of Airstreams together and you're all friends already. So it's really very enjoyable. Hope that answers your
right.
question on that one. Go ahead, Lori.
Sorry about my cat, everybody. My husband's out of town and my cat's mad. That's why he's in here with me. So how many Airstreams from the factory annually? Approximate numbers of Airstreams on the road determine number. Unfortunately, we don't have that data. Me and Airstream have talked about it a ton. But unfortunately, we don't have that information. Diana, one of the Harvest Host settings that would be great for a group would be a drive-in theater. Absolutely.
Yes.
That would be a good time. We
And
will
again,
pass.
if any of y'all know of a place that you've been to, and we've heard a couple, right? That, oh, we've been here, it's great. Email Lori, and we'll put that into the queue.
Yep.
That would be fantastic.
Wouldn't that be fun?
There's a
Ah,
missile silo somewhere. I think it's in North Dakota. That's a Harvest Host property that I really want to go to also.
wow, that'd be
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Okay, we're going to wrap. I'm mindful of everyone's time. It's 2 minutes after. Is our parliamentarian, Lori Grassi, says, everyone don't forget to vote. Your vote matters. I've had the benefit of working with a phenomenal executive council. Michelle and Don Paris say there's an Oregon Club, there's a drive-in movie theater. Michelle or Don, get that to me if you could, please. Actually, get it to Kathy. Kathy. That'd be great. Thank you.
Jan St. Arkansas is doing this.
I
At
know.
a drive-in.
I know.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you all. Have a great evening, and we're doing this again. And so, Lori, don't go to sleep. Kendall, Jay, you're on the East Coast. Hang in there. Thank you all for your time and your questions. As always, it's been phenomenal. All right, bye.
Good night.
Bye.